Welcome back. Now, US President Donald Trump has been putting pressure on India to stop energy purchases from Russia. Sources are also telling CNBC-TV18 that energy imports from the US are set to sharply increase in the near future. We also understand from sources that crude oil prices could harden if India stops buying Russian oil. Sapna Das is joining in with more details on this. Sapna, tell us what more are your sources telling you with this regard?
Well, it's pretty much clear. The view back here in India is the fact that if we halt our imports from Russia, and which are quite sizable in quantity, this could really harden the international global, or rather international crude oil prices. If you look back in 2022, March 2022, just after Ukraine war had broken out, there was a fear of a lot of the Russian oil going off the market. And at that point in time, also, you had seen crude spiking to around $137. But coming back to the present scenario, in fact, back of the envelope estimates within certain sections of the government indicate that crude could spike to as much as $200 a barrel if if a large chunk of the Russian oil goes off the market, or if India halts those imports from Russia. Also, we need to be mindful of the fact that in all these years, India has actually followed all the possible international protocols in terms of sourcing crude oil from Russia. Now, let's just look at the numbers as to how important we are as a buyer of the Russian crude and what kind of numbers Russia talks about. So basically, 4.5 million barrels per day is the kind of exports that Russia does, out of which almost around 1.8 to 2 million barrels per day is what India buys from them. Also, we need to keep in mind that almost 10% of the global demand, that is around 9.5 million barrels per day, is what Russia produces. It is the second biggest producer in the world. So, to speak about Russian oil going off the market, or India halting its imports from, from that country, would basically really cause a shortage of oil supply in the global markets very clearly. So this is the take here, and I think in the coming days we'll know more. But I think the stance back in India is very clear that the imports are not stopping, and Russia will continue to be an important oil sourcing partner for India.
Indeed, Sapna, thank you for that update there. Now,